Hey there. I don't know if you noticed or not, but in yesterday's episode, which was episode 8, toward the end of it, my fingers got pretty dirty. They're not dirty anymore because I've washed them. But yesterday, I was experimenting with a lot of different organic materials. And one of those materials was mud. That's the one I had the most success with. So for today's video, what I did was I went ahead and made a project completely out of mud. I actually made 2 projects. So today's video is going to be about those 2 projects, and I hope you love it, and I hope you go outside and make some mud. Just get some dirt and put water in it, and you can use your fingers. You don't even have to use anything fancy. Everything's already out there. So you just walk outside, walk to your backyard, front yard, maybe do it on some sidewalk, and hopefully you will be able to create something because I was able to, and it wasn't easy, but I had fun. So as a review, what I did yesterday was I took some dirt from my front yard and I put it into a cup, and then I added a little bit of water and I mixed it up so that I could make some mud. So I'm going to start off by making like an abstract design on this little skinny piece of paper, and I'm adding some diagonal lines to it. Then I added some rows of polka dots. And I'm just experimenting with the mud. And if I want to make something a little bigger, I can do that. And I want to use a different material than Q-tip. You know what? I think I'm going to use my fingers. Everybody has fingers, right? Kind of gross. Make sure you wash your hands afterward, because remember, this is just dirt and water. Let's see how it turns out. I think I'm going to make a face. So I like to visualize where my face is going to go, kind of like this maybe. I like how when I slide my finger down, it's like smears the mud on the paper. I like that effect a lot. I'm having some trouble with the shading, as you can see, and also every time I let go, one of these black dots appear. I left these 2 because it kind of looks like the eyes, but I don't really like that every time I do it, a black dot appears, or sometimes I don't want a dot to appear. So I have to make sure that I don't stop in the middle of what I'm doing. See, it doesn't work like a pencil, because if it were a pencil, I could make this darker. Trying to find a way to make this darker without leaving those dots. And I want you to know that I've never in my life painted using mud. So this is something very new to me. And that's how you guys can relate, or maybe I can relate to you when you're trying something new in my classroom. And I do something and it looks so easy when I do it, and then you guys try to do it, some of you. And if you've never done it before, of course it's not going to look the same as mine. And then you guys go, oh, Miss Hernandez, you're an artist. But the reason sometimes the art looks so amazing to you is just that I have more experience with it. So we're learning as we go. This is the thing about art. It is frustrating when things don't turn out the way you want them to, or the way like you're seeing it in your head one way, and then it's not really looking that way when you see it on the paper. So that is frustrating. I get it. But the only thing you can keep doing is to practice even more and just keep going with it. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit more mud. I want her face to be even darker. Sometimes, like what I just did, I had a face already made for her, and I went over that. So now you can't really see what I had before, but that's fine. It doesn't really look like a face at all anymore, but I think that we will get closer to what I am picturing in my mind. Let me see if I can do this to her hair also. The thing about her hair is I really like the lines, so I really don't want to lose that part. I don't want to lose that element because those lines, they just look really pretty for the hair. And do you know where those lines are coming from? My kindergartners ought to know because we did a whole lesson about what makes us very unique, something that makes us very unique, each one of us, which we have on our fingertips. That is our fingerprints. So since I have fingerprints on my fingers, they're not completely smooth, but they have these tiny little lines. I think that is what's helping me to get these little lines in the picture. And sometimes it feels like everything you did, you just ruined. But we are not going to panic. We can panic a little bit. Oh no. I think part of my problem is that I am maybe trying to rush it a little bit and I'm not waiting for that layer to dry. I can kind of see her features. Like I can visualize where I want the eye to be in kind of the nose and the mouth because her chin's right here. And so I want to like just put it on there. But this layer is still wet and so I can't really put anything else on top of that. Yet the way I want. Those are not the kind of eyes I want. And then when I try to press down, it erases. So then I have these eyeballs. That looks like she's a zombie, kind of. That's definitely not what I want. Let me go back. At least I can sort of erase. Okay, so I've given it a little bit of time, like maybe 5 minutes or so. And I'm starting to see that it's so dry that I can kind of go over it again with a clean-ish finger and just kind of rub this, kind of like we did when 4th and 5th graders, when we used a tortillon, which was a piece of paper that was rolled up. But instead of using that, I'm using my whole finger. Remember, I'm using a cleanish finger now, not the one that I used to paint. So I'm going to do that also on her neck. Now this part I've lost some of the detail of it, so I'm going to go back over it again. Alright, let's try the eyes again. I'm a little afraid. Okay, well for some reason, what I'm doing is actually having the opposite effect that I wanted. I wanted originally to make the nose and the eyes and the mouth darker than the face, but it's actually coming out lighter and I kind of like it. It's different. Hey, that's not so bad. I really wish I had smaller fingers. Maybe you guys will be more successful because your fingers are smaller. Remember, she's wearing a mask. And once again, I'm starting over with the face. Okay, new strategy. I have a tiny little, my longest nail is on my pinky. So I'm going to try to scratch the design into the mud using my pinky nail. Because I'm not having very good luck with my finger. It's too big, which makes me think that maybe if I had a larger piece of paper to start with, maybe I would have had a little bit more luck. All right, well, I think I'm going to stop there for today. It's not the best. I kind of, you know what I do like though? I like this kind of frame around it. When I tore the paper, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little edge to it. Like this is the smooth paper and then this part's kind of rough. Then when I added mud, it kind of created a little frame around it. So I think that I will try to now do that on purpose, just to make it more interesting. And also my 4th and 5th graders who remember making frames around your artwork. Even my 3rd graders, when we did the, what's it called? The mosaics. I also, some of you made a frame around them, and it just adds a little bit of interest to it sometimes. So I'm gonna darken the background a little bit, so we have something all over it, and then the border looks kind of cute. I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, that's mud art. Yay!